Hello world! As the end of the year is approaching, as you can see from my beautiful sweater, I was thinking to make a video that is a bit different from my usual. I decided to talk to you about the books that I read in this year. So they're mostly books that helped me in my personal growth journey and in my mental health journey. So that's why I think it's important in my channel, where I talk about mental health, to tell you which books I've read and which ones actually helped me. So this time I will really not make the intro too long. Let's start. One book that I actually started years ago, but I read really the first few pages and then I finished this year, is this one. It's a book about emotional intelligence, as the title says. I started to read it when I had two assistants working with me because I wanted to be a nicer leader and to be able to work with people, have people working for me, having a good relationship with them, understanding how to deal with issues or, maybe things that didn't go well. It's good also if you want to deal with friends, relationships in general. It's a cool book, well written, easy, maybe too easy if you know already a bit about emotional intelligence. So if the words emotional intelligence don't really mean much to you, but you're interested in the subject, this book is super interesting and a nice starting point. If you know some stuff about emotional intelligence already, you'll find it a bit predictable. Still, I'm not gonna give a score, but I will just say I suggest it to people that are interested in emotional intelligence and are quite new to the subject. Then, probably if I wanted to make a proper video, I would keep my favorite book as the last thing, but no, I just want to talk so much about this book that I will just start saying a few things now already. This was the best book of the year. I can't describe how much I loved it. I read it in the moment in which, when I told you that in June I had I hit rock bottom and I lived the worst moment of my life. Well, after that, I started reading this book. It actually saved me during that time. This book will help you design new habits, transform old ones. I don't know. I wouldn't even say make your life more productive. I would just say make your life better. Why did I love it? It's funny, the author is called James Clear, and I'm gonna say it's clearly written, but bad joke, bad use of words. It's simple to read, but so effective, so clear. It gives you proper practical tools to put into practice what you're reading. And it's just, I don't know, for me it was mind-blowing. I loved every page. Nothing was predictable. I just wasn't expecting it to be so good. Honestly, loved it. Loved the author. I also watched a few lessons from him. So if you wanna start having better habits in your life, if you wanna change some bad ones that you have, if you wanna see great results, this book is for you. Really, really, really recommend it. Like, best book of the year. Then, as in the last video, the day is getting very dark already. I love natural light. But yeah, you'll see me getting darker and darker again. Sorry. So, I thought if I wanted to talk about these books and this author in this video, because they are from an Italian author and the books haven't been translated yet. But honestly, he has become my favorite author ever. So I was like, I'm just gonna say a thing or two about them, because first, there might be a few people watching these videos that are Italian and that want to know about these books. Second, maybe, hopefully, this book will be translated in English sooner or later, and when this will happen, I highly recommend all of you to just buy and read all the books of the author that I'm gonna present now. When I discovered him last year, I was like, oh my god, he's amazing. First book that I read is this one. As you can read, the author is Gianluca Gotto. Some books are more like narrative, but most of them are just a lot about life lessons, how to live your life in a happier way. His first book that I read, Profondo come il mare, leggero come il cielo, it's a lot about Buddhism, but in a way that even if you are not Buddhist, even if you don't believe in anything, this book will change the way you see things. I don't know, the way you see the things that happen in your life, or the way you react to things that happen in your life. I am honestly, so many times I'm like, I wish I had more time so I could reread a book, and the book that I would reread is this one, because it gave me so much peace while I was reading it, and I'm like, it's just worth reading it again. It's really about finding your inner peace. I'm not saying this is the solution to all your problems and that you are gonna be a happy, normal, like a happy, calm person after reading it, but definitely it will give you some new mindsets, some new tools. Anyway, that is the book that I read last year. This year I read some other books of him. The best one was definitely this one. This book is divided into chapters, and each chapter is about a question that you might or should ask yourself during your life. Every question pushes you to think differently, to take things in your life from a different perspective, and pushes you to live. I don't know, like for a person that struggled to enjoy life in many moments, this book has helped me a lot to see the things that are happening to me in a different way, to see them more positively, and to ask myself different questions than the ones that I was usually asking myself. Anyway, yeah, it's still in Italian, but when it's gonna be translated in English, because it will be, because I can tell you he is becoming quite a big author in Italy. When it's gonna be translated, I highly recommend all of you to buy his books. God, I've got something in my eye that is killing me. What's happening with me? So, another book that I started last summer actually, like summer 2023, but then I finished this year, is The Power of Now. Like, I've been told by everyone that this book would have changed my life. I was like, really? I don't think so. A guide to spiritual enlightenment. Maybe it was too spiritual, I don't know. I don't feel like this book changed me at all, and it's a lot about mindfulness, being present, giving every moment in your life more of a purpose. A lot of interesting things. Maybe I read them too many times already in other books, and maybe in the other books I read them in a more interesting way, I don't know. I fully agree with what it says about the fact that we live in the present moment, and what is important is the now. Maybe I didn't love how it was written, but maybe some of you will love it. So let's say I recommend it for what it talks about. The topic is interesting, and anyway, it's recommended by so many people, so that's why I read it. Here comes the hard part, because as I travel so much, come on, what's happening here? Last Christmas, my parents gave me the Kobo e-reader that I've loved, honestly, for a person that travels. It's super handy, I really like it. I'm not here to, recommend you to buy it or anything, even though, no, you know what? I will recommend you to buy it if you travel and, you don't have much space for several books and you like to read. And yeah, I can say Kobo is a nice brand. I really like this e-reader. Anyway, back to the books. What I read in here, well, this one is quite far from the other types of book that I read, but I'm a freelance, I have to manage my own money, so I read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I heard so much about it that I was like, you know what, let's give it a go. I loved it. I remember that while I was reading it, I was in Coimbra with a girl that was very much against capitalism, and it was hard. It was strange to read this book while hearing her saying that capitalism it's a horrible thing that happened to humanity. I must say this book made me think very differently from her. But anyway, whatever your opinion is, I think if you're interested in a new mindset of how to manage money and how to see money, this is the book. Like, it really made me change everything that I thought about money, how to deal with money, what to think of money, everything. Honestly, the title Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's just genius, because it's true. We all grew up, a lot of us grew up with a dad that teaches us all the things that this guy has been taught by the poor dad, who is not actually poor, it's like a middle-class dad. And then he tells you what he learned from the rich dad. So from the guy that is a proper entrepreneur that made a lot of money. And it's not about you making all that money, it's just reshaping your way of thinking about how to make money. You might not agree with what he says. As all my friends know, I'm not a millionaire, so it's not like the book made me a millionaire, but it really reshaped my way of thinking about money. So I do recommend it. Okay, let's talk about other 2-3 books quite fast, because this video is just becoming too long. Other very interesting book was Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I've been wanting to read something from this author for so long, and this summer I finally managed. Little tip, don't make my mistake. Don't read it while you are on holiday trying to enjoy the sun and, getting tanned in the beach. It's quite mentally demanding. Anyway, the description of the book is master your mind and defy the odds. And it's a lot about how you can shape your own future, and what happened to you doesn't define who you are, and that you are the person that decides what is gonna happen to himself. You are the person that can decide to be a Superman or just any other man. So I loved reading it, I must say, even though it was hard. I don't agree with everything that is said. As a person that suffered from depressive moments, hard crises, self-harming, I don't believe it's just all power of my brain and I can just decide to stop everything. It's getting very dark. Otherwise, I wouldn't have paid a psychologist and a psychiatrist for 7 years. Even though I do believe that the mind has a lot of power and we can really reshape who we think we are. We can shape our own future. So yeah, I don't agree with everything. Still, it was worth reading it. I recommend it if you are searching for something that pushes you to change a situation that you're living, or to change what you think of yourself and of your future and the tools that you have. Another couple of books that I read here are the book by Jay Shetty, I hope it's pronounced like that is Think Like a Monk, and the Everyday Hero Manifesto by Robin Sharma. Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty was... it's funny, some concepts are very similar to the book of David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. So, about the fact that you can decide who to become, how to act. Jay Shetty became a monk. He redefined his personality, how he acted, how he thought. It's written in such a different way. David Goggins is very harsh and is telling you, don't find excuses. Work hard and change your life. While Jay Shetty is all about talking to you in a very nice, sweet, calm way and teaching you how to be a better person. It's a bit strange to compare these two books and put them on a similar level, but I think somehow it's this, changing who you are, becoming a better person. It's up to you to decide how you wanna be told to become a better person. The Everyday Hero Manifesto by Robin Sharma. I loved the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, and he was the person that made me become a very early morning person. It's a book that, again, teaches you to become your everyday hero, and to be every day an amazing, incredible person that not only is incredibly productive, has crazy ideas, and, you know, has the power to change his life and probably the life of others. But there are a few things that was just like, I think he missed the step in which you give the people the chance to reach the level he's talking about. From Robin Sharma, it was not my favorite book. I definitely prefer the 5 a.m. Club, even though my boyfriend told me that he didn't like it at all. So, you know, also about that, there are different opinions. I loved it, so that's that. If you trust my opinion, read the 5 a.m. Club. Didn't love the Everyday Hero Manifesto. This is it. I don't know if I will publish anything before Christmas and New Year. So, you know what? I will just wish you all some good holidays if you have holidays. Nice, lovely end of the year. Whether you're gonna spend it with friends and family, or alone, or with your animals, who knows. I just wish you all to be happy and to live these last days of the year with a peaceful and happy mind. And that's it. See you in the next video, hopefully, because hopefully, okay, it's time for me to say this sentence. You'll subscribe to this channel, you'll put a like on my video, and you'll watch the next one. Bye, Fred.